Do you know what? People are going to think I'm a massive Frank Warren fan, but really I try and be impartial and I just try and tell it how I see it. Now, on this particular occasion, which has been the occasion the last few times I've discussed it, Frank Warren has really pulled a rabbit out of the hat. You know, great work here. What I'm specifically referring to is the Liverpool show, 6th of March, where we have two world title fighters, both of which have been gained home advantage by Frank Warren. I am, of course, referring to Derry Matthews and Paul Butler. Let's talk Derry Matthews first. I view him as the less relevant of the two, on the basis that I don't see him as beating Richard Abril, and I see him as later on in his career and possibly fading into obscurity after this fight. Again, not trying to be overly harsh, I'm just saying it as I see it. But Derry Matthews is 31 years old. On BoxRec, he is the number 63 lightweight in the world and only the 6th lightweight in the UK. He's lost recently to Stephen Ormond. He's lost twice to Gavin Rees. I'd go further than that and say that this is a guy who's actually lost when fighting on a prize fighter format. In total, this is a guy who's lost 9 times and drawn twice. Of those 9 losses, he's been knocked out 7 times. What I'm getting at is that Derry Matthews is no world beater. He is not the most likely world title winner. But what Frank Warren has done is found a lightweight champion who people view as vulnerable. He's brought him into the Lions' Den, Liverpool, to fight a very popular hometown fighter with hometown judges and a hometown referee. Let's be honest, anything could happen. I expect Abril to win, but it's a fight. You know, Derry Matthews is competitive in this. And it's a really interesting fight now. It's a fantastic bit of business from Frank Warren. I mean, unfortunate circumstances involving Anthony Crolla. We won't go into that because everyone already knows about that. But he saw a gap and he took it. Anyone who thinks that's immoral should look at what Eddie Hearn did when he decided to get involved in the Chris Avalos, and Carl Frampton negotiations. You know, in business, if you see a gap like that, you've got to go for it. You've got to make a run for it. And fair play to Frank Warren. He secured a massive night of boxing in Liverpool. He secured home advantage for his fighter, who went from losing in prize fighter and getting knocked out 7 times to being realistic in a world title shot. You know, it's absolutely crazy. Fair play to Frank Warren. Who'd have thought 2 or 3 years ago that Eddie Hearn would have Ricky Burns without a title, Kevin Mitchell without a title, Anthony Crolla without a title, Tommy Coyle without a title, Olympic gold medalist Luke Campbell without a title, all in the lightweight division. Yet the one who's actually fighting for the strap is Frank Warren's Derry Matthews. Fair play to him. He's done good. He's had a bit of luck along the way with how the situation's developed, but you make your own luck in this world and he's capitalised on it. Secondly, a talent who I view as a far more exciting boxer than Derry Matthews, Paul Butler. Now, I've seen Paul Butler box live. I've been lucky enough to watch his fights from ringside a few times, and this guy is so good. So good. Now, I actually think he's quite a big puncher as well. I think at super flyweight we're going to see him knocking guys out. I've seen him knock guys out. I've seen the power he hits with. This guy is a real hard hitter. You know, maybe moving up a division, fighting guys a weight division above, fighting guys like Stuart Hall who are actually big for their division. You know, maybe that hasn't shown him in his best light. But I think at super flyweight, he's not only going to outbox people, because this guy is a slick guy. He can move, he can box, he's really slick. But not only does he bring that, I also think he brings a power element to the game. And we know he's got good strength and durability because he's won a world title in the division above. I mean, Paul Butler, I think I read somewhere that he's the youngest ever champion, you know. He's 26 years old, so that must be wrong. But I think I read that he was like one of the youngest British world champions. He's now going to be the first guy to move down the weight division and win. two world championships. And let's get this straight, Paul Butler is going to win. He's in against a guy by the name of Zolane Tete, 19-3. Now, I am not going to tell you that I have encyclopedic knowledge of Zolane Tete's record and capabilities. He may be fairly good, but he's lost 3 times. Paul Butler's a world champion in a weight division above. And to be honest, I view Paul Butler at the minute to be a bit of an unstoppable force. You know, Frank Warren has not delivered 1 world title shot for Paul Butler, but delivered 2. He's put the money up, he's got a world champion to come in, and he's secured hometown advantage again for his fighter. 2 guys who, yeah, Paul Butler should win. Derry Matthews, he's got a chance, you know. It's a very, very good night of boxing for Liverpool. You know, this is how you build boxing in a city. When Eddie Hearn's trying to build boxing in Dublin, you know, Glasgow, Birmingham's his next attack, Hull, Leeds. Yeah, have a look at this. You know, guys who are big ticket sellers in their area, building them up, putting the money behind them, supporting them. You know, people could learn a lesson from that. And I'm not saying Eddie Hearn's going about it the wrong way. What I'm saying is that Frank Warren is doing a very, very good job, and respect to him. You know, the other thing I'd say is the card itself. You've got Jazza Dickens versus Josh Whale in a 12-round contest. You've got Kevin Satchel, Liam Smith, Jack Catterall, Tom Stalker. You know, you've got names that the hardcore boxing community and that the Scouse fans know. You've got decent fighters. You know, it's a real night for us hardcore fans. It's a good night for Box Nation. It's not going to be one of those nights that gets the casual fans ringing in their droves to subscribe to Box Nation. But what it is a chance to get 2 British world champions. It's a chance to see developing prospects, and it's a chance to see guys like Liam Smith, you know, fighting in 8-rounders, 10-rounders before making the move up to that world level. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. My opinion is that Frank Warren's done a brilliant job. For me, this is a really, really good night of boxing. I'm looking forward to it. And it shows that you don't need the power of Sky behind you to create a really, really good night's fights. Thanks for watching. Do let me know your thoughts.